globe model. So first, let us start with a very popular model called Hofstede six-dimension model. So what is Hofstede six-dimension model? It is power distance. It captures the societal culture based on six dimension. One is the power distance, and that is the individualism, masculinity, uncertainty, avoidance, long-term orientation, and indulgence. Power distance talks about the how less privileged member and less powerful member of the society accept the unequal distribution of power. Individualism talks about the degree of interdependence of the how society maintains the interdependence among the members. Then and then talking about the masculinity means how what motivates people in the society, whether it is the competition or being the best or being or liking what to do, what they like to do. Then uncertainty avoidance. So this is called uncertainty avoidance talks about the degree to which members of the society threatened by unambiguous situation means how they avoid the uncertain situation of the future. Means for example whether they have established institutions based on which they rely on the existing norms, rules and regulations and avoid the society, or they are like Japan that prefer not to change in any plan. They plan everything in advance and they don't want to change the plan. They become more orderly in their behavior. Similarly, talking about the long-term orientation means how society maintains links of present and future to its past. Means how society develop itself and oriented for long-term development. Means, for example, many countries invest education to gradually change its society for a long-term uh, uh, goal. Then again, indulgence. So it is indulgence is the extent to which society maintains restraint in to its group members. Means how free the members are to take care of their own desire and goal. Then we have globe culture dimensions. Uh, uh, Unlike Hofstede six dimension, globe defines nine dimension. Although globe culture dimensions is built upon the Hofstede six dimension, but globe culture and you will find that many dimensions which are common in both globe and Hofstede, but they are different in that the uh, globe conducts survey in a different manner. It records or it evaluates the score of the dimension based on different set of questions. So these dimension might be different, might produce a different result as uh, Hofstede dimensions does. So do Hofstede dimensions do. So in this globe cultural dimension, globe defined nine dimension. So what is this? So first of all, performance orientation. So it tells the degree to which the organization or society encourage performance in the society and reward performance. Then assertiveness. It is assertiveness talks about the degree to which individuals are assertive and aggressive in their relationship with others. Then collectivism one, which is nothing but the institutional collectivism, means how the degree to which societal institutional practices and encourage and reward collective distribution of resources. Then we have general gender egalitarianism. It tells the degree to which a collective uh, degree to which the gender equality uh, uh, are endorsed in the society. Then we have human orientation. It talks about the degree to which a collective rewards and individual rewards to individual for being fair, for being empathetic, or for being generous. Then we have power distance. So it is same as described in the Hofstede model. It It tells degree to which the members of the society accept the unequal distribution of power. Then collectivism too, which is the individual collectivism, is it talks about the degree to which individual express pride and loyalty and cohesiveness in their family or the organization, etc. Then uncertainty avoidance, the extent to which a collective relies on social norms, means they how far they could ignore the uncertainty. Some society are very orderly, very disciplined to um, avoid any uncertainty of the future, whereas some society are uh, just they uh, they are just uh, less uh, uh, they are they accept unpredictability of the future, means they leave everything uh, on uh, the future, means they are less avoid. Then we talk about the future orientation. This parameters talks about the degree to which an individual plan for the future, means their behavior of future planning and investing in the future. So this parameters talks about. So these cultural dimensions are very much interrelated with the leadership of the organization or leadership of of various culture. Means what kind of leadership are there and how they means what are the characteristics can be described by and are highly influenced by these highly influenced by cultural dimension. So and that is the main uh, that is the main rationale behind the globe model and the Hofstede model of studying organizational culture, because in this way we can interpret the leadership style of the different countries. So what is globe leadership dimensions? So leadership, these are characterized by uh, six uh, then Europe contains Austria, Switzerland, Netherlands, all the Danish means all the Nordic countries. Then we have Latin America. Latin America contains the Brazil, Mexico, Bolivia, such kind of countries. Then Sub-Saharan Africa or Indigenous Africa. Indigenous Africa contains countries like Zambia, Nigeria, then South Africa Black culture, then Arabic cultures. So Arabic cultures are Egypt, Kuwait, Qatar, Morocco. These countries have been clustered into Arabic cultures. Then Southern Asia. So Southern Asia contains India, Indonesia, Mexico, Malaysia, Thailand, Iran. So uh, these countries are highly influenced by Indian culture historically. Means Malaysia, Thailand, Iran is not Iran, but Philippines, Indonesia. These countries are historically influenced by the Indian culture, and that is the reason why various dimension clustered means a cluster analysis clustered these countries into the same group, because they share similar kind of cultural values. So then we have Confucius Asia. So Confucius Asia contains the Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore. So these countries has very similar cultural values based on the dimension that I discussed in my previous slide. Uh, that is the globe, 9 dimensions. So that is the reason why these countries has been clustered into the same group. So how they clustered the country? So what they did, they first make an a priori assumption. A priori assumption means they define the group, and then they did cross validation whether the group exists or not by linear discriminant analysis. So first they defined the group, and they defined the 10 groups based on the cultural dimension, that 9 dimension plus the proximity of the country, means how closer the countries are. They also incorporated that, and based on which they they just cross validate the existence of the culture, whether the culture exists or not. So in a similar manner, I also clustered the in a similar manner, I also want to cross validate whether these cluster exist or not. So I downloaded the globe 61 countries data set, which contains the nine dimension that I discussed, and then I did the unsupervised clustering. So unsupervised clustering, and then I identify the groups, whether these groups comply with the group suggested by the globe and suggested by Gupta, Hanks, and Dorfman. So I compared my findings with them. This is my cluster. Uh, this is the result of my cluster analysis. So you can see that India, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, and Iran has been clustered into one group. Then we have, this is the Anglo culture clusters. So it contains, you can see that USA, England, then New Zealand, Israel has been mistakenly comes into this cluster. So some there are uh, some wrong grouping, but this cluster is produced the 97% accuracy. So you can see that China, Japan, and Hong Kong, these have been grouped into one cluster. So this is the Confucius Asia. Then this is the Southern Asia. So this is how clustering. This is how the globe clustering can be cross-validated. So after this, I focused on only three cluster countries. Why I've considered Anglo culture? Because of the comparison. Because I want to compare Confucian Asia and South Asia with uh, with Anglo culture. And uh, this is the country. Anglo culture contains mostly the developed nations, the USA, Australia, Canada, UK, and South Africa white community. Whereas South Asia, as I discussed, it contains Iran, India, Malaysia, all the developing nations. Confucian Asia, again, the developing nations, China, Hong Kong, Japan, uh, again the Eastern Asian countries who are who shares the common values. So this is the is now societal culture scores of these three cultures, these three clusters. So what is now means globe collect data in two format. So one is now and one is should be. So is now score represent that collectivism in Confucian Asia is maximum as compared to the Anglo. Anglo comes in between, and the South Asia comes the least. And also the collectivism, group collectivism or institutional. The group collectivism. Now talking about the first dimension, charismatic. So charismatic leadership is maximum in South Asia, as you can see. But the major difference you will find that in participative and self-protective dimension. You can see that the Anglo clusters has the maximum participative score. Uh, so that means that the leaders means participative behavior of the leaders are endorsed more in Anglo culture compared to the other two. And the leaders in the Anglo culture are less self-protective, and they are less self-interested. Whereas you can see that other scores are almost similar, except the charismatic score. Charismatic means charisma means the uh, the vision of the leaders in the South Asia complies with the social norms always. So those leaders who who has vision